It's just the way this business is. Without them, there's no us. Without us, there's no them. So it kind of all goes hand in hand. So it kind of, you have to keep all that going.
And I think that is something that we look at ourselves every day, every month. It's just how do we continue to get better? The other pillar of ours is one team. And, I think as one team, what that truly means is that you guys are doing it for not just yourself, but the person right next to you.
And your company culture is on point as well too. Like I love walking through the plant with you and people literally fist bumping, excited to see you. And everyone is like family there. It's the coolest thing ever. Like I love seeing a place of business where everybody just gets along. All right, what's up, everybody? We are here at the NxtGen podcast, and we are talking about shrimp today. I got Ernie and Vnay in the house, and let's get some introductions. Actually, let's do this. I do this thing called street cred sometimes with some of my guests, and that's your opportunity to shine. So 2 minutes of fame, maybe longer than that, we'll see. But give me and give them what it is about you that got you here today. Street cred.
Okay, you want to go first?
Yeah, I'll go first.
Gotta put my boy in the spot.
So what got me here today? I mean, look, I live in Tampa, Florida. My wife is a doctor.
Congrats.
When I made, it's not a bad gig. When I made the decision to come down to Tampa, a lot of it was because of her, right? She's doing her fellowship here at TGH as an infectious disease doctor. And, really for me, the opportunity for growth and kind of taking all the years of experience I've had in my past company to bring it here to Cox Seafood when I met the president was what got me intrigued, right? I mean, so for me, it was majority of my wife making that move to Tampa, but really had the opportunity to meet our president and really understand the vision of what Cox brings out there. And just so everyone knows, I work for Cox Seafood. I'm a senior vice president for sales and marketing. But that moment when I met our president gave me the vision of what we have here, gave me the opportunity to kind of take all the skills that I had, got me excited. Yeah, that is the reason why I'm here today. And I'm so excited to be here.
Yeah, and you've been in the food game for a while though, right?
Yeah, 15 plus years. Variety of different positions. I've held the roles, touching food service, touching retail.
Shrimp's more exciting.
Yeah, shrimp's a lot.
Shrimp
Shrimp is different. Shrimp is different.
Definitely more exciting.
Well, speaking about exciting, I was excited when Vnay reached out to me. He's like, hey, I'm moving to Florida. And at first you were in the Orlando area. Then he's like, I'm coming to Tampa. I'm like, there's no way. Because we've been states apart for a decade now. Right. And now I got you back you're in my backyard, 30 minutes away from the house, and we get to do cool stuff like this.
I am in your backyard. And it's just, for me, it's been so exciting to work with you, which will kind of lead into where this gentleman over here on my left is right here. But
I've been in Florida. I don't know where you guys have been. I was born and raised here. So I don't know what brought you guys here, but my family brought me here because my dad came to Florida for shrimp. That's what we do. That's what we've always done.
Yeah, so let's talk more about that.
Yeah, my name's Ernest Danini. I'm president of Superior Seafoods. We've been around since my uncle and my father started the business in 1952. So we've been doing this a long time. That's all we know is shrimp. We've been all over the world doing it. We've had a business in French Guiana. We've had boats in Honduras. And we've bought shrimp from all over the world. Based in Tampa, my father and my uncle came to Tampa, bought a small little Hankins Shrimp Company back in the day. No one's ever heard of that company. My dad and my uncle worked with the gentleman, bought the business, and changed the name to now Superior Seafoods, or has been Superior Seafoods.
What was it like being a kid working at the docks?
Fun.
Yeah?
A lot of fun, yes. A lot of memories with my dad. My dad's now passed. It's kind of a tough thing for me, but with my dad, going to the docks with my dad, even traveling out of the country, but going to the docks with my dad in Tampa, watching the Gasparilla out of his office, throwing rocks in the water, going in the Coke machine that we just found the other day in one of our storage rooms, the old Coke machine. We used to go and steal little bottled Cokes. Just, being with your dad, being with your, that's your guy. When you grow up, your dad's your guy, the guy you worked with, and traveling out of the country, being in French Guiana with him and, going through all that and just growing up and learning how to clean parts and being with him and being on boats when you almost get hit coming off the railway and, just things you never thought that we're really cool until now you grow up and you're thinking, wow, that was a good time.
Do you ever ask your dad, like, why shrimp pops? Like, why did you want to buy the shrimp company?
He started back when he came out of the Air Force. We've had this discussion many times. I said, why this? What? Well, he says, I left the Air Force, went to St. Mary's, Georgia. I had two uncles there.
Mm-hmm.
One that just got out of the Navy and one who owned a business there. He started landscaping. It's still there now, called Danini Florist in St. Mary's. So he got on, my uncle was shrimping, and my dad said, let's go. You want to come with me? And my dad said, I don't know. I got nothing to do. I'll try it. Well, they're coal miners. Remember, our background's coal mining.
Mm.
So you go from coal mining, which is being the hardest probably thing you ever do, to shrimping is probably the next. And my dad and my uncle thought this was easy. They thought, oh, this is a joke. You're going to actually pay us to do this.
And that is so wild because I've been on some of the boats, and that is not easy work.
It's not easy work by any stretch of the imagination. So here these two guys go out there and they start shrimping. And my dad loved it. He loved being on the water. He loved the fact that you could go out there and earn a living for his family. And he was just, that was his thing.
So let me ask you this. So we have terms that are popping around here, the docks, shrimping. Explain that to us. Visualize it for the viewers here. Like, when do we say we're going to the docks and we're shrimping?
Right. When you're going to the docks, basically is where we all come in. The boats come to the docks. We're down on Causeway where we're located. And they come in to offload, repairs, supplies, things like that. I have boats come from Brownsville, Palacios, Louisiana, Bayou La Batre, Alabama. We have boats come from all over.
So when the boats go out, like, what does that look like? Like, what does the day in the life of a shrimper look like?
Okay, so it takes you're in for about a week, sometimes 10 days. So they go out, visit their families, do their thing. So now we're getting supplies on the boat. We're getting groceries, fuel the day before. Then the day of, it's getting all the last minute adjustments made, family coming down, saying goodbye, things like that. And then you see the stern going out. It's the best day of an owner ever, is when the stern of that boat's leaving the dock, because that's what you look for when you own boats. Coming in and going out. In between, not too much, because they can call you if you have issues. I mean, you have problems sometimes. It's a boat.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a neat thing. It's something we've always grown to grow up seeing. When I was in South America, we had binoculars and we'd see boats coming in. You got all excited because now it's time to unload. Now it's the money time.
Yeah.
Well, let's see what we did.
Yeah.
Did we do any good? Did we do bad? Did we do good? My dad had 20 boats. My dad and uncle had 20 boats. So we had a fleet. So there was a lot of work, a lot of time involved. We never had hobbies.
I mean, work was your hobby.
We had a boat. We bought it. My dad and uncle bought a brand new boat, put it off of Gandy Boulevard. We take the boat out. We're taking a boat out. We bought a boat. Great. We go out in this boat. We have a blast. My cousins, we all have a great time. 2 weeks later, I said, when we going back to the boat? We sold the boat. I'm like, why we sell the boat? He goes, we sold the boat because that takes up too much time. We have to work. We have time for that kind of luxuries. We work.
Yeah.
But that's what coal miners did.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They worked, eat, back to work.
That's some serious work ethic right there.
All we knew. That's all we knew. In South America, we worked. I've been in South America. We worked 24 hours a day.
Wow.
Never stopped.
Wow.
Honduras, we did lobsters. We unloaded lobsters 24 hours a day. I've seen my dad and uncle up 48 hours at a time. At 60 years old.
Yeah. And
I'm 61. I couldn't do it.
Man. So why do you switch from lobsters to shrimp?
Well, that was part of what we did down there. We did shrimp as well.
Oh, okay.
We bought shrimp as well, but part of the plant that we purchased, our own part of, did lobsters as well.
Gotcha.
So we did a little of both. But really, our mainstay and our knowledge is in the shrimp business.
Shrimp, yeah. So
That's
how
what
did Superior and Cox link up?
Before I started working, when I was in college, Steve Cox and my dad became friends because Steve started Cox Wholesale Seafood back, I think, in 78, 79.
78. Yeah.
It was 78.
Yep.
Okay. It was in that area because I had just came on in 84, 85. 85, I started with my dad. And Steve started a business buying a lot of rock shrimp. So Steve was big in the rock shrimp. Well, then as the rock shrimp came on, that business was doing fine. Steve said, I want to be in the pink shrimp business. Came down, spoke to my dad. Listen, I want to get in the pink shrimp business. You have pink shrimp. That's what I want. So my dad says, okay, so let's do it. Let's start, we'll start buying and selling and we'll see how you do. And Steve had a little truck and they'd come down and buy a few boxes of shrimp and Steve would take them. And then it got to a point, probably 20 years down the road, I don't want anyone else to have pinks in the whole Gulf of Mexico. Steve was like, this is my market. I want it. I want to own the whole thing. So working with Steve, he put the prices out there where he probably owned 90% of the pink shrimp market out there. If you wanted pink shrimp in this country, you came to Cox Wholesale Seafood.
Wow.
And that's where I think we're getting back to. That's where I hope we're heading towards.
Yeah. So Vnay, what is it about the pink shrimp that's so spectacular?
I mean,
superior.
Look, there's if you talk about appearance on it, it's fantastic, right? I mean, it's got that, you know, we talk about white sand of Florida, right? That's where they're getting the stuff is from the Gulf. So from appearance standpoint, yeah,
it's in Key West. It's white sand, coral, pink. That's where they
really,
get the color.
really nice. The flavor of it, I mean, people always talk about it. It's like a lobster taste type of flavor. It's just good, right? If I think about the other different species that are out there, it's just you tend to taste different profiles on them, and it just has a really strong taste, color.
None of them are bad.
None of them are bad.
None of them are bad. We just prefer pink shrimp.
Yeah.
I just think catch them in the Keys, catch them on the Gulf off of Tampa. They have a prettier sight when you see them. You have that pink color with that glow that comes off. They all have a spot on them. And you taste them, that tastes like the ocean.
Yeah.
And people always tell me, oh, why are these shrimp so good? If you talk to the man upstairs, he makes them. We just catch them. We just catch them.
Yeah.
And they're the best.
Yeah.
They really are. They're really good.
And I think at Cox, like our one of our goals is obviously there's a lot of people that just don't know what Key West pink shrimp is. I mean, short time that I've been here, you know, I've learned through a lot of places that the awareness of Key West pink shrimp is just not there. So our goal together is to get that stuff in people's homes, right? I mean, Ernie's been one of the best to support us on our business at Cox Seafood, and we have a ton of partners out there that truly are embedded with us to bring the best, highest quality shrimp in the market.
Well, I think that's why we're here today, because you guys are going to make this happen. NxtGen with Cox is what we're about. You can say that people don't know and people are getting more educated, but if you don't put it in front of them with today's markets and media outsource, everything we can do here, that's how you get people educated.
Yeah.
People are on their phones all the time. You have to put this in front of them. They're not going to go read about pink shrimp anywhere. You have to do it for them. Just what everyone does in any market today.
Yeah.
It's not like when I grew up. You had to read an article or someone sent you something old school in the mail. My dad used to open up mail and have articles coming out of his mail. I'm like, what is that? Oh, Johnny sent me this from New York 2 weeks ago. It finally gets there, right? Snail mail. He opens up and he's reading, oh, isn't this cool? I'm like, Dad. But nowadays, our generations, not mine, but yours, the ones growing up, all want that. They want to be able to read something right in front of them, and that's what you guys bring. I mean, that's what we need. We need a fresh start. We need something fresh to bring this out to people, that how good this product really is.
Yeah. Yeah, like read or watch videos. I can't tell the last time I went to, you know, a website to learn about something. Like, I'm going to YouTube. Like, don't tell me how to make this thing. Like, I want to go to YouTube and watch a video. Like, show me. You know,
I come home and my dryer's torn apart. And I said, what are we doing? Oh, I go on YouTube. Be quiet. I'm fixing the dryer. My wife's down there
So
fixing
true.
it.
Yeah.
It's so true.
Yeah.
And she fixed it.
Like
She fixed it. I'm like, oh my.
I've done electrical. I've fixed washers and dryers, my garbage disposal, all sorts of things that I didn't know how to do until I watched a 5-minute video on YouTube.
But that's how people get information.
Yeah.
And this is why we need this, because people have to understand the difference in the qualities of product. And I believe Steve and my dad, it was definitely a mutual agreement that, look, I need the product. We need you. So with that there's loyalty in our business.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's where this all starts. When you're loyal to Steve is loyal to us, then it becomes a support group, whether it be now Vnay and Charlie, Nancy, everybody there at Cox helps support us. Well, with them supporting us, it makes us easier to go out there and catch the product and sell the product.
Yeah.
That's how things work. A lot of people don't understand that. They don't understand the loyalty of it. They just want to go out there and try to sell whatever they can sell for a nickel more or whatever. It's not like that in our business.
Yeah.
You have to be loyal to people.
Partnerships create wins.
It just does.
Yeah.
And that's what I found out. And I think that's a big part of where Superior Seafoods is.
Yeah.
We have partnerships and we run those. So people will say, why do you sell this person? Why do you sell this person? Loyalty. Well, are they loyal to you? I said, if I'm with them, they're going to be loyal to me because we've been with Cox since '78.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how much longer you want me to do this. They've always been there for me, always.
So let's talk about how much longer you want to do this. Talk a little bit about your family. Like, how does that go from like your father to yourself? Like, what's next? What's the plan?
The plan is my son, Dalton. Dalton graduated a few years back and came to work, I think 4 or 5 years. So he took an interest in, hey, listen, I want to do something generational. I want to come in there and I don't want it to go away. Why not? What is it? Well, because Grandpa started it and Uncle John started it. So I feel like this is something I can do and keep this thing going because you don't want to do it forever. I said, I never said I didn't. Your grandfather was 80-some and he was still working.
80s. Wow.
Oh, yeah. I'm telling you, my uncle and my dad were people of a different kind of people.
Yeah.
They just worked. That's all they know. So they worked till they passed. I mean, they never stopped. My dad had, at 77, had Alzheimer's and drove home one day. I'm with him every day.
Mm-hmm.
Drives home, calls me up. Yeah, Dad, you need to come over to my house. I said, Dad, I just left you 5 minutes ago. I said, I just got in the house. I'm just now talking to Kathy. I need you to come right now. I'm like, oh, okay, something's wrong. I said, I got to go to that, Dad. I walk in, he throws me the car keys. So what are you doing? He said, I'll see you at 7. I'm like, what are you talking about? I don't know how I got home. I'm like, oh, okay. So that started that downward spiral with my father. But I picked him up, 77, comes to work, didn't do a whole lot, but he'd come and just wanted to be there. Just wanted to be there.
That was his life.
It was his life. And you've been to our office.
Yeah.
There's Peter Green.
Mm-hmm.
I've known Peter Green since I've been a little boy. Peter's 86, 87. I put on my camera every morning at 6 o'clock. He's there, 5:30. He's at work. Reason being, they have to work. It's what they know. It's that generation.
Yeah.
And Peter says, if I don't come here, I don't know what's going to happen to me.
This is probably a whole different conversation, but I feel like you don't see that type of work ethic very often today like you used to in the past.
In our industry, you do. You see people work pretty hard.
Yeah.
You have to make it.
You have to, yeah.
You have to make it. You have to make it. I see it in Vnay, though.
Yeah.
I see the work ethic. Yeah. I see that there's a little passion there. I think he's taking off with the shrimp, and there's a little, it gets in you.
It does.
It does get in you. It's a passion.
Here's your $20, my man. I appreciate that.
No, but it does. It gets in your body. I mean, the shrimp business does actually take you over because it's a challenge.
It does.
It's a challenge. There's a lot of,
Vnay is definitely passionate about shrimp. But it's funny because, I've known Vnay for probably close to a decade now.
Okay.
And it's like every conversation we have now is about shrimp, whether it's work related or not work related. Like he's just so passionate about shrimp.
Gents, it's a little bit of a problem, right? Because this goes into the personal life at home.
Right.
My wife's like, I don't want to hear about this stuff anymore. Please, shrimp is not a hot topic anymore in our house right now. It's like doors are closed. We ain't talking about it. But
so I'm your outlet. Then is what you're saying?
Yeah, I call you all the time.
Well, I've been married for a long time, 38 years this year. So my wife doesn't mind. When I come home, I let it eat, and she listens. She listens and wants to understand because she's been around a long time, and she's been through the good, the bad, the ugly, with our business, and it's in her as well. I mean, she understands it.
Yeah.
So when I start unloading, she's like, she'll put everything down. Okay, let me have it.
Yeah.
And she'll have her comments, which I love. I mean, that's what it's about.
I love your story around the generations and passing it down. And I've always been fascinated when you go out to the docks. You always see names on the boats.
Oh, yeah.
What are those names on your boats?
Oh, yeah.
Tell us a little about how those
everybody
were picked.
You can imagine. I had the boat, the Alexa Ray, my daughter. Well, growing up as a child, there was a little Ernie. There was the Miss Jenny, which we all know what the Miss Jenny, because we had the little Jenny, she sunk. So we had the Miss Jenny, and every boat we had, my dad and uncle probably bought 180 of them because every 4 years we we got rid of them. So what they did was the secretary would have one, or Miss Ethel 1, Miss Ethel 2, Miss Ethel 3. We'd just keep going. Dad would say, I don't know how to name these boats. We just we never had dogs, so we couldn't put the dog name on them. But every name was different. Like right now, my son has a boat called the Captain TA, named after his grandfather just passed, Thomas Ackerman. So he named it after his grandfather. He named the company Big E Seafoods because my dad was called Big E. That's what they called my dad. I was always Little Ernie. Go figure.
Yeah.
I'm 50 years old. Hey, where's little Ernie? I'm like,
I'm a
right
grown
here.
man.
I mean, I'm not little no more, but that's the way the names everybody went. But even today, we have, everybody puts their family, wives or their. I have the Miss Kathy as well, named after my wife. But everybody puts their names on boats, and they always like to name them certain things. I have one gentleman, the Southern Grace. I have so many. You often wonder, Critter Getter. Critter Getter.
I like that one.
Where'd we get that at?
Yeah.
But it's just, that's
man.
my favorite, Rainstorm. We had a boat there called the
I
Rainstorm.
like that.
Yeah.
Love the Rainstorm.
Yeah.
I told the guy, I said, I just love the name. Forget the boat, love the name. Just really cool. But Carl was his dad's name, the Captain Carl. Everybody has a reasoning. When you see a name, don't just think it's just a name. There's a reason why they put that on
There's a
it.
story
And they
behind
take
it.
pride in that kind of stuff.
That's
It's
cool.
cool. Yeah. What are we going to name the boat?
Yeah.
What are we going to name it? I bought a boat. I never keep the name the same. I'd always change it. But when my dad named them, it was a process because I had so many. So they'd always think of different names. My cousin, Little John, who owns the business with myself, his was Little John, Miss Gina, Little Gina, whatever we had.
I like the
we had,
little.
Yeah.
We had all, we had them all. We had
Keeping it
them all.
going.
We had them all. We moved into the Little Jenny to the Miss Jenny. So she grew up.
Yeah.
So something I probably never did, I guess, by my name. But yeah, we never had many little Ernies, we never had a big Ernie either, or the Captain Ernie. We never had that, or Captain John, which my uncle never had none of those. Never had them.
Ernie, what do you like? So there's so much going on in this industry right now, and for anyone that's out there, when you buy Cox Seafood, you're supporting American fisheries, right? You're supporting
Absolutely.
this legacy of family that you see out there that works so hard. You talked about going out in the waters and the ocean to get this stuff, right? It's wild caught.
Absolutely.
Talk a little bit. What makes you excited about where we are headed as an industry? Like, where are we headed as industry? Even though there's headwinds,
There's
what makes you
negatives.
excited?
There's always negatives. There's always negatives, but I'm not that guy. I'm always the guy that the glass is half full because that's just my personality. I can't do the other way or I'll go jump off the
relate.
bridge. I just can't do it that way. My people are like, oh, this business is in bad shape. No, it's not. Things are moving forward. Really? I don't see it. Well, then prices start moving up and people are like, fuel's coming down a little bit. Like, wow, how'd you know that? I said, I don't. But I just know that I have faith that this business has been here and it's moving in the right direction. People are starting to get the message of domestic quality, pink shrimp, white shrimp, brown shrimp. They're getting that message. They're understanding that farm raised is not what we want to put in our body.
Yeah.
They understand all that. So things in the industry, people are buying that have never bought before. I have people that call me all the time. Where do I get good, American shrimp? Those kind of questions. And that's what you want to hear from people. You don't want to hear, oh, well, it's just the same as anything else. It's not. It's not. I have people come out. I only buy my stuff at Sam's. What makes the difference? Try them. I'm not going to say anything else. If you don't like them, bring them back.
Yeah.
I'll give you your money back. But I'm telling you, I've never had that happen. They enjoy them. And the industry is and some of the countries are really hurting us with the imports because they bring so many in. You don't need to go into them. There's so many of them that bring product in our country. But I think people are starting to feel that our product is superior and that it's starting really to show. And I think as we get more messages out there and we hit different avenues, I think you'll see that even increase even more. But I think the industry's, we're going through some tough times. I mean, I'm not going to lie. We've hit some tough markets where we've been, the price has been suppressed because of imports. But I think we're moving now. If we could slow them down a little bit, I think we could move in a different direction. I think it is. I think it's starting the last couple months.
Yeah.
Have been really, really good.
That's awesome.
I mean, hasn't turned into money as of yet, but you're seeing people and things moving, people calling, people wanting, hey, I need this or I need that. So that's a positive. You can't take every call as a sales call. You have to take the positives out of it.
Yeah.
So I think that's been a good thing.
Yeah, and like just to add to that, right? Like for us, like we want to push the message around the story of what we do, right? As a whole on supporting American fisheries.
Of course.
The quality, like you talked about, you said it perfectly, I think, just on how the quality is of pink shrimp. You've tried pink shrimp before, right? What was your experience
I tried it
with
for the
that?
first time with you guys, and it was like I didn't know about shrimp at all
didn't?
until I mean, like I would eat shrimp, but I
Right.
didn't really understand shrimp.
No, people don't.
And the first time I had it, I was like, all right, I can definitely taste the difference. Like,
Shrimp or
it's-
shrimp.
Yeah,
People think shrimp or shrimp.
yeah,
Not
shrimp or not shrimp.
Not shrimp.
And it's funny, like I used to never see it in stores and notice it in stores, especially the pink.
Right.
But now after working like with you guys, like when I go into that store and I see that Cox bag with the shrimp, I'm like, I know exactly what this is. It's a wild caught domestic.
I
pink
run
shrimp.
to the store. You can ask my wife. I run to the store. First thing I do is I run back to the seafood and
Yeah.
see what's back there because I got like a little kid.
Yeah.
I'm like, look, I want to see what they sell. I want to see what it is.
It's got to be so cool, like seeing your product like in stores partnered
Absolutely.
with Cox.
Absolutely. People,
Yeah.
oh, where do I buy your product? Publix, different places.
Yeah.
It's all over, and it's really a lot of fun to see that as you grow older. You know, you didn't realize it back in the day, but now there's more outlets, right? Than just back then. There's so many more places to buy. You can go on the internet and buy pink shrimp.
Yeah.
Okay. Wouldn't suggest that. I suggest going to Cox. But just saying. But yeah, there's a lot of different places we can buy that product, and it's just way different than when I grew up.
Yeah. So,
You
Vnay,
know?
what are some of the places that you can find it?
Yeah, so our brand right now is in Kroger, Publix, Market Basket, Jewel, Shaw's, Food Lion, and yeah, we just expect that to continue to grow. I mean, there's been incredible partners out there that are pushing this brand. They understand the story behind it. What it is to support your local waters is so important, right? And so, yeah, I think for us, like we just want to continue to grow our brand and bring this product on shelves. So
Yeah.
where we
So can you do me a favor? Because like I love to understand like the man behind the business. We've heard a lot from Ernie. Ernie is the man,
No,
but
not
but-
the man.
oh, you're
You
being
are the
modest.
man,
You are,
Ernie.
you
Just
are
the
the
guy,
man.
just the guy that took over a business that I absolutely loved
Yeah.
because I never thought about doing anything else. I'm just a guy that took over a business that my dad had a passion and my uncle had a passion for, and I just love doing it.
Yeah.
I
But
just do.
I will say, like, let's go back to just talking about Ernie a little bit more, right? Like our experience meeting you for the first time, it was incredible, right? Because we did it together and we
Yeah.
walked out of there like, man, that guy is really fascinating.
Yeah.
But just faith,
Was it fascinating or hyper?
just awesome, man. It was
I
just
had a lot
like
of energy. I'm not gonna lie.
such an
You
incredible
have an infectious
experience, right?
personality.
It is. It's
I-
infectious.
yeah.
But I think for us, like we just felt so empowered to just keep supporting you. Like
Well,
it
Yeah.
was just
I
like,
appreciate that
yeah.
very much. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. I just, it's just something I've always done. And now I've always been that guy. You know, I'm just, I don't know. My dad was that way.
Yeah.
A lot of people say I talk like my dad, I act like people walk in and say, man, your dad's not here, but he is. Because you're him, which to me is a huge compliment.
Yeah.
I mean, he was the guy.
Yeah.
When he walked in rooms, he was the guy because he brought everybody to life. I don't do that, but I just love the fact that what he instilled in me is what I can bring to my son, which my son now, we enjoy being down there. We enjoy what we do. We enjoy the city of Tampa.
Yeah.
I mean, Tampa's been a big proponent of what we do. Been here since 52 in the port and continue to work with them and move forward. And it's just a great place to work out of. We have all the resources we need. People come from other ports, like I mentioned earlier, Palacios, Bayou La Battery, Brownsville. They love this city. They love the fact that you can get everything right there. And I help facilitate all that. But they love the fact that we get it done and we get it done in a timely manner for them to go back out.
Yeah.
That's big
That's
to
huge.
bring boats here.
Mm-hmm. Love it.
It really is.
Well,
So-
Vnay, tell me about Charlie, because Charlie must be something incredibly special. I mean, I think he is a cool dude, but like you made a pretty big move to, switch positions, and you clearly have bought into his vision. So, like, tell everybody out there about Charlie.
Yeah, so Charlie Price is my boss. He's the president of Cox Seafood. He came here, I believe, in like 2020. Worked for a handful of different companies prior to that. One of them was McConnell's Ice Cream. If you get a chance to meet Charlie, he is such a genuine human
Cool dude.
being. Just a genuine human being. You like smart man. I mean, there's no doubt he knows he picks up things pretty quickly, but
He's an author too.
he's an author. He's writing a
That
book.
book
It's
came
coming
out.
out. He's giving secrets away. But yeah, you just think about getting the opportunity to work for someone like Charlie. Like that intrigued me to want to work here, right? Like he was one big component for me. Just how much he cares about people, how much he cares about the business, and frankly, how much he just cares about doing what's right for like the overall industry with seafood, specifically for folks like you, Ernie. I mean, I know you guys have a good relationship, good friendship.
Very good.
I think about like Ernie and Charlie. I think mentor. Like,
Yeah,
these guys
totally
are awesome mentors.
In meeting Charlie, he got thrusted into the whole COVID
Yeah.
and the price
in
and
the fire.
Yeah, so he got. But I'm gonna tell you what, I've never heard the man doubt anything that he wanted to do. He brought on Vnay, yourselves. This is where we need to be. His vision is there, and it's working. So I mean, I didn't know Charlie. Talked about ice cream, this, that, and the other, and I'm like, yeah, buddy, you're not in the ice cream business anymore. It's a different business. It's a different business.
Yeah.
There's some sharks out there. We're selling shrimp, but they're sharks. So this guy has stayed nothing but positive. I want to do what makes this business right, and he's done that.
Yeah.
And he's doing a great job.
Yeah, and you guys are doing more innovative things now too, right? You want to kind of talk about that? Are you allowed to talk about the new fun things you guys are doing?
Yeah, I mean, just from a product standpoint, I mean, we're obviously looking to do more, right? I mean, you think about what wild-caught shrimp is, it's an ingredient and can be used in so many different ways. So you could talk, we'll disclose that probably another time, but I think just innovative things that we're doing as a company, we partner with a lot of different suppliers out there, right? I'll give you an example of Eggland's Best, right? Like we've talked to them about, hey, look, shrimp can be used in a recipe with eggs. Like, what are the cool things that we can do? So like recipe creations and things that they have on their site, like we encourage collaboration there. There's so many other partnerships we have kind of in the mix. I mean, St. Elmo, right? I believe we met them at the Boston Seafood Show, and they
cried together
they
with the St.
have
Elmos.
the hottest sauce I think I've ever tasted in my life. We have a video that we posted online in tears, but I mean, they're perfect examples of great, genuine people that want to work with us. There's obviously collaborations of things that we can do on recipes, but even community, right? I mean, I think about the things that we do with Feeding Tampa Bay. They're one of the big things that we, organizations we partner with here in Tampa. And, our mission as Cox is, yes, you can do innovation on products, but innovation for us is more than just a product. It's about doing things that are different than we've done in the past on community, doing different things with partners that are different. Digital is growing across groceries. You guys said it perfectly. And so we're making a big push on trying to work with our partners, customers, on emphasizing and making a bigger presence on digital. And, your partnership with you guys is definitely helping.
Yeah, it's been a ton of fun. And it's cool working with companies like Cox that are looking to do more new innovative things and not being afraid of being disruptive or being innovative. So we've had a blast working with you. And I've learned a whole lot about shrimp. Like, you guys have made me a shrimp fan. Like, my kids eat shrimp now. My wife loves shrimp. Jamie back there eats shrimp. Like,
you got to have shrimp and grits. You got to have the whole thing.
You know what?
You got to try it.
So, true story. I used to hate grits until somebody put shrimp in it for me.
And now it's the best.
I was like, oh my gosh, I could eat
everywhere
this.
we go. Everywhere we go, I try shrimp and grits.
Yeah.
That's just one of my favorite things. And we go to Key West. We went down there, my wife and I, and went to a restaurant. They had their special shrimp and grits. Domestic? Absolutely. Domestic. First thing I ask. I mean, it's just in me. Yeah. It's ingrained in me. Yeah. My wife will kick me under the table, stop it. And I'm like, but I have to ask. So it is domestic. I'll take them. I'll try any shrimp and grits. It just has to be domestic product. That's just me.
I mean, talking a little bit about that, though, about the different ways you can use shrimp. I mean, the different meal occasions from breakfast, lunch, snack, dinner. I mean, shrimp kind of falls in all of it, right? And so there's a lot of different ways you can use the product. And even more than that, what's fascinating to me when I came here? It's so easy to make shrimp. Easy. Like, you boil that thing for 2 minutes, 3 minutes, and
you ever put them in the
you're
microwave?
good to go. And it just, I've actually never done that before. But
I have shrimp, put them in the microwave, boom, in a little bag, cook them.
Really?
They're cooked. I'm like, let me try that. It's perfect.
But there's fear, like, of people, like, when you think about shrimp, there's like, I think there's this education of like, how do you cook it? Like, a lot of people don't use shrimp just because of that, in terms of like, how do you prep this thing? It's the most convenient protein out there. I mean, it's fantastic.
It's very good. It's very good. We cook shrimp, and the next day for lunch, we'll buy hoagie rolls, shrimp poor boys. Put cheese on them. Oh yeah. Fried shrimp is the best. You take them, put them on I mean, there's so many different ways we eat shrimp, but we have Easter, we have a big shrimp fry at my daughter's house. So we do huge shrimp fries. We started with my dad, my father-in-law. We drink wine, eat shrimp on Easter. That's our thing. So now when we're done with them, everybody wants them for the next day, the leftovers. So we'll cook so many we can't eat them all. But everybody wants the leftovers so they can make a poor boy or whatever. Everybody likes different things the next day with them because you can make so many different items with them that people just don't realize.
So what's your favorite shrimp recipe if you had to pick? Fried?
This is my favorite. My dad fried, and we take Italian breadcrumbs and we grate Reggiano Parmesan cheese in the breadcrumbs. So we'll take your flour, your egg, your breadcrumbs, and just put them in the grease. And it's my favorite with a glass of wine. My absolute favorite thing to eat in the world.
All right, Vnay, we got to go try this out.
Oh yeah,
I'm just
doesn't
waiting
matter
for
whatever kind of wine you like. I grew up drinking Chianti because that's what my family's from Italy, so that's what we drink. But I drink anything with it. But I love fried shrimp, the best.
All right,
They're
Vnay,
the best.
your
Are
turn.
you a big traveler? Do you travel a lot internationally at all?
Not
Or?
a lot. No, I wouldn't say.
Sounds say you're Italian. I didn't know you were Italian.
Oh yes, my family comes from Malvano up in the mountains,
Oh.
up in Switzerland. Yep.
He's always working. He can't travel.
Seriously.
We don't travel a lot. I do work a lot.
Dalton, you know, working a little harder there, man.
Yeah.
So what's your favorite shrimp?
I wouldn't say fried, actually. I honestly love taking
Can't with a
shrimp.
doctor.
I mean, yeah.
She's a doctor. You can't say fried. She's not gonna eat that.
Yeah.
She wants
yeah.
something a little healthier.
Yeah, I love boiling the shrimp, and I'll just dip it into sauce. I mean, like shrimp cocktails
Yeah.
are just
Beautiful.
nice. We always have friends over all the time that we just entertain, and just it's a nice entertaining
It
little
is.
thing. Like you said,
Yeah.
wine,
Yes.
awesome pairing with wine.
Oh
Yeah.
yes, the best.
Yeah, I like a scampi. I like the
Oh
shrimp,
yeah,
shrimp
shrimp scampi.
But see,
Amazing.
we've named 3 things, and there's 100 more.
Yeah,
But they're so easy to cook before people come over. Put them on a table with some cocktail sauce.
yeah.
Scampi, throw some pasta in there. We're done. We got a meal. It takes minutes.
Yeah.
It's literally minutes to cook these things, and you can have 100. And to me, all 3 of those meals were great, by the way. But because I love shrimp cocktail, I love scampi. But I mean, that's the people don't realize it's something you can make quick at night. It's not like I want to have a prime rib or a roast. It takes hours.
Yeah.
Now these things are, they're ready to be available to cook and make easily, especially in the 2-pound bag. I like that.
Yeah.
I like the 2-pound bag.
Yeah.
They look nice too.
And it's a delicacy too, you know?
It is. It's good.
Yeah. So, Vnay, real quick. So, I want you to talk about your facility because when I had my first tour at your facility or plant, I was blown away because of how clean it was. Like, I was expecting to walk in and it be like shrimpy, But no, dude, it was crazy clean.
Man, let me take it back a little bit because like when I first got interviewed for this job, I had I had that same kind of like, oh, a shrimp plant. What does that smell?
Yeah.
Is it gonna smell like shrimp? What does that smell like, and what's it gonna look like? And man, the first impression I think is the same impression you had. It is the cleanest plant, and a lot of credit to Charlie. Right, that is one of the things that he's so good at. Is it's a facility right here in Tampa, really close to the airport, really close to the Buck Stadium. It's our front office is connected to the plant, and we have it's called 80 to 100 workers that are employed at Cox Seafood. And yeah, it's the one thing I think if anyone ever comes to our plant, they will say like, it might be a little bit different from what you see out there. It does not smell like a shrimp plant. Super clean. We obviously upgrade our equipment to be the best we can and just continue to evolve. And that, I think, as you talk about quality, when you think about Cox Seafood and the things that we do with our shrimp, second to none, right? Like we do a ton of different things.
Well, don't you meet top certifications of the highest?
BRC audited, AA rated,
Not
AA
that
rated.
people know what that means.
Yeah.
But I know that it's rated as high as you can get.
So yeah, the highest rating. So AA rating is basically you get 5 strikes, from my understanding, and you could lose your rating. And so for us, we've maintained that AA rating for as long as I've known. So that is something that we take pride in, is just making sure when it comes to quality, let's make sure that is number one, right? Safety, quality, those are got to be on point all times.
And your company culture is on point as well too. Like I love walking through the plant with you, and people like like
Fist
literally fist bumping, like excited to see you, and everyone is like family there. It's the coolest thing ever. Like I love seeing a place of business where
he a rock
everybody
star?
just gets along. He apparently
He
is.
is a rock star.
Well, I think part of a good culture in an organization is making sure that you do have that strength with every team member from top to bottom, right? I mean, it's just something that I think, again, Charlie would as well. Like we take pride in making sure that we know everyone's name. We walk in, we spend the time, we go in a little bit early in the morning, we stay a little bit late at night, spend time with the night crew to get to know them a little bit. And honestly, it's like knowing them past like just their job, right? Like knowing their names, but getting to know them and like what brought them here, what makes them excited. And I think, from an HR perspective, we do a really good job here of just listening to employees, listening to what's important for them and making the adjustments and changes that is going to continue to elevate us. I mean, our values at Cox Seafood, one of the biggest pillars is improve every day. Mm-hmm. And I think that is something that we look at ourselves every day, every month. It's just how do we continue to get better? The other pillar of ours is one team. And, I think as one team, what that truly means is that you guys are doing it for not just yourself, but the person right next to you. And that's what we're all about here at Cox.
Yeah, definitely shows. Well, gentlemen, thank you so much for being here with me today. It was a pleasure. It was a blast. It was a good time chatting with you. And I feel like there's going to be more conversations that we're going to do here on camera behind the mic, and we're just getting started.
We are just getting started.
Yes, I hope so.
We appreciate you. And
yes, absolutely.
Ernie, thank you again on behalf of Cox Seafood for everything that you do. And I agree with Marlon that we are just getting started, y'all. Just keep watching out for Cox Seafood.
We feel like we're part of your team because, we all have to work together. It's just the way this business is. Without them, there's no us. Without us, there's no them. Yeah. So it kind of all goes hand in hand. Yeah. So you have to keep all that going. Yeah. And we've been doing it since '78, and I don't foresee that anytime soon.
One team. There you go.
One team.
It's got to be that way.
Let's go.
All right. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
No problem.
All right. Thank you.